Please relax and watch the following video clip. Did you yawn in response to the video clip? If so, it may be a sign that you're a more empathetic person. Yawning is a reflex, characterized by the simultaneous inhalation of air and stretching of the eardrums. While the causes of yawning remain uncertain, the contagiousness of it remains quite clear. In fact, you may find that at several moments during this speech, you will yawn just by thinking about it. While suggestibility alone can play a significant role into whether one will yawn or not, I have found through extensive research that there is more to contagious yawning than just mere suggestibility. Empathy, our ability to relate and connect to others on an emotional level, has proven to have strong ties with contagious yawning. Because of this, contagious yawning should be a reliable precursor in determining one's emotional capacities or emotional quotient. If the following is true, then sociopaths and autistics, those who are less attuned to others' emotions, should not indicate signs of contagious yawning. Today we will examine this more closely by looking at contagious yawning in the brain, then contagious yawning in autistics, and finally contagious yawning as observed in animals. Let's start by looking at empathy's relation to contagious yawning as observed in the brain. According to Nick Fleming and Roger Highfield of thetelegraph.co.uk, in an article titled "Contagious Yawning Shows More Empathy with Other People's Feelings," neurologists conducted an experiment using brain imaging on individuals who yawned in response to another's yawn. What they found was that the precuneus and posterior temporal gyrus, regions commonly associated with empathy, lit up when one yawned in response to another. This alone provides conclusive evidence on how empathy relates to contagious yawning. In another study conducted at Leeds University, 40 engineering students and 40 psychology students were asked to wait in the waiting room with an undercover assistant who yawned a total of 10 times in 10 minutes. After waiting in the waiting room, the students then were asked to take an emotional test, in which they were shown 40 pictures of eyes and asked to describe what emotion each set of eyes displayed. The results found that the psychology students yawned a total of 5.5 times while sitting in the waiting room on average, and on average scored a total of 28 out of 40 on the emotional test. The engineering students, who work less with people and are considered less attuned to others' emotions and work more with numbers and systems, yawned only a total of 1.5 out of 10 times while in the waiting room, and scored a total of 25.5 out of 40 on average on the emotional test. On another note, women, who are considered to be more emotional than men, were not observed to yawn any more often. Now that we've found a definitive link between the average individual's brain and contagious yawning, let's look at autism to further validate our point. People with autism spectrum disorder are considered to be developmentally impaired emotionally and have difficulty connecting with others. According to Atsushi Shinji, in a journal titled "Absence of Contagious Yawning in Children with Autistic Spectrum Disorder," a study was conducted using 48 children, aged 7 to 15. Half of the children were autistic and the other half were not. These children were shown video clips of some clips had people with their mouths open only, and other clips had people yawning. The results found that the autistic children showed no signs to either clips of contagious yawning, while the non-autistic children yawned in response to those actually yawning. Karen Hart from Yale University reports that an argument was presented in response to this study. The argument is that autistic children are more likely to observe the mouths of individuals rather than the eyes. This is a problem because yawning is thought to be cued through the eyes rather than the mouth. However, this argument was undermined by the researchers of Yale University with a study that included autistic children viewing the video Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, where the character's eyes were only shown. The study concluded that the autistic children did not respond emotionally any more than they did when shown the video normally or shown the video with just the characters' mouths. This provides conclusive evidence as to why autism and empathy are related to contagious yawning. Lastly, let's discuss contagious yawning in animals. While it is known that almost all animals, including fish, birds, mammals, reptiles, and even some insects, yawn, it is known that only humans and higher primates will show signs of contagious yawning. In an article titled "Chimps Can't Help Yawning Either" from the Associated Press, dated July 26, 2004, a study in Kyoto, Japan, included a similar study to that of the autistics, in which 6 chimps were shown video clips of some chimps yawning and some chimps with their mouths open. What the study found is 2 out of the 6 chimps yawned in response to the other chimps' yawn. It also found that infant chimps under the age of 3, much like infant humans, did not yawn in response to any of the yawns. This is because yawning is considered a learned behavior and not an inherent trait. Empathy. In conclusion, yawning is more than just a reflex. Yawning is a true indicator of sophisticated intellect, of empathy and self-awareness, as observed in humans, autistic or not, and higher primates. So, the next time you see someone yawn, perhaps you'll think twice about that.